Welcome to Moments with Amaya, real life trading psychology through a personal perspective. Amaya sat in front of her charts, longer than usual, not analyzing, not marking levels, just staring. The setup was there, clean, familiar, the kind that she had traded dozens of times before. Her cursor hovered over the buy button, but her hand felt heavier than usual. She exhaled slowly and leaned back. A few weeks ago, she wouldn't have hesitated. But a few weeks ago, she hadn't blown through a chunk of her account trying to make it back. She could still feel it, the spiral. One loss turned into two, two turned into forcing trades, then bigger position sizes, then ignoring her own rules. Revenge trading didn't feel reckless in the moment, it felt justified. I just need one good trade. But that one trade turned into damage she could not ignore. Now, here she was, hesitating on a setup she knew she would have taken before. Her phone buzzed. It was Marcus. Did you take that UU setup? Amaya stared at the message and then typed back. It was there. I I just didn't take it. A few seconds later, her phone rang. You didn't take it? Marcus asked. That's your setup. I know, she said quietly. That's the problem. There was a pause. I don't trust myself right now. Marcus didn't respond immediately. Do you not trust the setup? He asked. Or do you not trust what you might do after you get in? Amaya blinked. That question landed heavier than she expected. Both, she admitted, but mostly me. She turned back to her screen. The market had already started moving, without her. I kept thinking, what if I mess up again? She continued. What if I jump in and start interfering? Or I move my stop? Or over risk again? Marcus nodded, even though she couldn't see him. Then don't trade like that version of you. Amaya frowned. What does that even mean? It means you're trying to go from chaos straight back into full confidence, he said. That's not how this works. He continued. You don't rebuild trust by jumping back into full size, hoping you'll behave. Amaya looked down at her hands. You rebuild trust by proving yourself, trade by trade, that you could follow your rules again. Silence filled the space between them. Then Marcus added, Strength the rest, not the standard. That clicked. Amaya turned back to her charts, heart still beating a little faster than usual. Another setup was forming. Not perfect, but valid. She adjusted her lot size. Smaller than what she was used to. Smaller than what her ego liked, but manageable. Her fingers hovered again. This time, the fear was still there, but it wasn't as loud. I'm not trying to win, she whispered to herself. I'm trying to execute. Click. She entered. No rush of adrenaline, no immediate regret, just awareness. Price moved slightly against her. Her chest tightened, but she didn't touch anything. She glanced at her trade plan. Everything was still valid, so she sat. And for the first time in a while, she let the trade breathe. Later that evening, Amaya updated her journal. Not with profit, not with loss, but with something she hadn't tracked before. Did I follow my rules? She wrote. Yes. Then paused and added, That's the win. The next morning, Amaya didn't open her platform right away. She made coffee first. Then she sat at her table with her notebook and wrote down 3 words at the top of her page. One clean trade. That was the goal. Not a big win, not getting revenge on the market, not proving she was back. Just one good trade executed properly. She reviewed her rules slowly, line by line, and she noticed something uncomfortable. Her fear wasn't really about the market. It was about herself, about whether she would freeze, force, or interfere once she was in. So she made the decision before the market even opened. If the setup came, she would take it at a reduced size. If it didn't meet her rules exactly, she would leave it alone. That structure reflected a common recovery approach after a loss: reduce size, review rules, and rebuild confidence through discipline, execution rather than emotion. When the market opened, Amaya watched patiently. No chasing, no hovering, no convincing, just observing. Then she saw it, a clean setup forming exactly where she had planned it should. Her pulse picked up, but she didn't react. Instead, she ran through her own checklist. Is the setup valid? Is the stop defined? Is the risk small enough that I could think clearly? Would I take this if I was emotionally neutral? Her answer was yes. So she entered, not with the confidence of someone who'd never been hurt, but with the calm of someone who is learning how to protect herself better. That matters because rebuilding confidence after emotional trading works best when traders use rules, small size, and journaling to separate emotion from execution. The trade moved slowly. Amaya felt the old urge to check it too often. She wanted certainty. She wanted relief. She wanted the trade to hurry up and prove that she was okay. But this time, she noticed the urge, and instead of obeying it, she stepped away from the screen for a few minutes. When she came back, nothing dramatic happened. And that was the point. She was learning that stability could feel boring at first, and boring was often what discipline looked like in real time. Traders often build confidence by treating fear as a signal to double check risk, not to abandon the plan. Later, the trade closed with a modest gain. Nothing life changing, nothing cinematic, but Amaya smiled anyway, because the win wasn't in the dollars. It was the fact that she entered without spiraling. At night, Amaya opened her journal again. This time she wrote, I followed my rules. I used smaller size. I didn't interfere. I stayed calm enough to let the trade play out. Then she added one more line. I am rebuilding trust, not chasing redemption. Because that was her new rhythm. One clean trade, one honest journal entry, one repeatable decision. And over time, the fear didn't disappear all at once. It just got quieter. Not because the market changed, but because Amaya did.
Yay!
Remember, every trade is a seed, every rule is water. Plant the discipline and watch the results grow. I hope you enjoyed this segment with Amaya, and we will see you next time.